$109,000 in 7 days is not normal, but extremely possible to duplicate for your brand. Here are the real numbers behind what I am saying. I'm gonna put those up on the screen for you just so you know that this is a legitimate video, and we'll get into it and you can cut whatever part you would like. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can do this for your brand, how much ad spend was involved, which would probably surprise you honestly with how little it actually was, and the strategy with all the numbers behind everything. I plan to reveal literally all the numbers. I'll tell you everything about what's going on. No, you do not need to be an extremely established brand to do the numbers like these, but a little bit more on that later. Look guys, there are no silver bullets, but enough golden BBs will do. I was talking to a brand the other day who was only focused on Facebook ads and was getting frustrated with me because we spent 75% of our time together reviewing everything except for the ad. Now, towards the end of the call, things lightened up and they could see what I was talking about. Everything started to kind of reveal itself, and maybe I could have explained it a little bit better. I don't know. That the ads we run are almost completely contingent on great creative that stands out and almost nothing to do with how to set up your ads. There's a framework that I've developed over the last 10 years that hits on every single area that a clothing brand needs to not only grow, but to do so profitably. So I'm gonna share this with you first and foremost because this is the actual framework behind what actually makes this brand money, and how we did $109,000 in 7 days, and how it's been proven over and over and over again. The number one thing that we need to do, and this is called our e-com accelerator process. So the number one thing we've got to focus on is website conversion rate. So we're over here on hold strength, couple of things here. So this is obviously it's a 7-figure brand, couple of things that he's doing that I would probably change. Number one, website conversion rate. The hero image must be clickable. The shop now button is very, very small. A lot of people with dexterity issues or on different spots. I know they're on mobile, but you gotta focus on desktop too, right? So mobile first, but you still should not ignore desktop. Also, this home button, watch this guys. So you click accessories and then you hit the logo. I think everybody knows this. You don't need the home button. Lots of big stuff right here. I think a lot of this stuff could technically be down at the bottom, but I'm not too crazy about it. But this conversion rate is extremely important. He says that this is the disciple collection. Cool. There's no call to action. It doesn't say this is your calling or this is God's call, God's calling for you, whatever. Shop the disciple collection. It just says disciple collection. Shop now. So stronger call to action, clickable image, just make it easy for people to buy. But your website conversion rate is extremely important. So it's the number one thing that we need to have happen. We suggest for brands that are selling anywhere between AOV of 50 to 3 to 350, you need to be between 1.5 to 3% conversion rate. And look, some people say, oh, it's way higher or mine's way below a 1. Well, if it's way below a 1, it's likely because you don't have trust. And if it's way above a 3, you got way too many new customers or old customers coming back and not enough new ones. I want to scale. Now that's my MO here, is I want you to scale your business, because $109,000 in 7 days, in my opinion, is not just like, let's just whimsically choose something. Now, big brands, the Nikes of the world, they make $109,000 probably in an hour. For you guys, at least the people watching here, majority of you, $109,000 in a week is, maybe it's a down week for you, but it's still relative here. So 1.5 to 3%, number one. Number two is we need traffic, and we need good traffic. Good traffic meaning as many people as possible, but traffic is done through both organic and paid. Now, organic for a clothing brand, look, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, whatever it is, and then paid. Honestly, what I'm using organic for is a playground to make paid work. If organic does well, then I can make some tweaks, some changes, maybe I do a different call to action, grab that video, make some changes, and then put it into paid and scale. Okay, it's already your test and grab, but we need traffic to the site. The third area, what most people neglect, and I will tell you right now, I know a lot of you guys aren't doing it because I've done videos on them, and so many people do not click on them, or it's not as sexy, or it doesn't get as much hype as something like
get rich, or Facebook ads,
or like
drop ship,
or whatever. Like, I know that's what people want, but to tell you the truth, look, profit is the most important number for me. It should be the most important number for you. Net profit, the money that's actually in your bank account, not gross, and that is done through email and SMS. Email and SMS can acquire customers, but typically it's nurturing of a relationship and getting old customers to come back. And in a clothing brand space, you have to understand that you have to have more than one purchase. You need a second, a third, a fourth, I would love a fifth. You've got to increase that LTV. That lifetime value number is extremely important. You do that through this profit mechanism here. Email and SMS, if you're scaling up, you can do some stuff like retention as well. Number 4 is customer experience. What does this look like? This is your shipping, this is your packaging, this is your customer service. You could technically throw in a comment sold with this. This is also helpful, but basically this increases your LTV, lifetime value of the customer. I could technically relabel this thing as lifetime value. Customer experience, extremely important. If they don't have a great experience, they will not come back. I was actually on a run with a guy this morning, and he was telling us he's been going to this donut shop for probably years. They've gone hundreds of times, and he had his daughter order this morning, or no, I think it was Friday technically. We're recording this on a Monday. They went there on a Friday, their power's out. His daughter ordered 2 pink sprinkle donuts and like 2 other things. And then they got out to the car and like, oh, we're missing one of the sprinkle donuts. And they went back inside. The owner said, no, you didn't. You didn't order that. And then they're like, okay, all right. It's like, and then looked directly at my friend's daughter and said, tell him you did not say that. Tell him that you did not order that. And it's like, whoa, this is, we'll pay for the donut. And the lady just got so furious. So they're talking about 35 cents cost of goods here for this donut. And they lost a customer who spent thousands with them because of that experience. My friend told us, which was 6 other people, and I promise you I will never go to this donut shop again. It can work in the positive light as well. Your customer experience is extremely important. If you get surprise and delight with shipping or gifts or little nuances with the packages that you receive, you tell people. You want other people to find out, unless it's some kind of exclusive drop or whatever, I get it. But for the most part, great experiences expand. It's the only thing that truly has compounding interest in your business, and that is the word of mouth. So customer experience, extremely important. Your 5th area is, it's organic combo, but honestly, it's just really the branding. This is like other people, let's just do it this way, other people promoting for you. What I mean by this, let me just write this out. So this is UGC, user-generated content, influencers, ambassadors, if I could spell ambassadors, affiliates, other people promoting for you. They create content for you, more than likely. They also promote your brand. You also get a percentage, and they're going after it. So your army of people. Very, very fast way for you to grow. This process, like I said, has helped many, many brands get to the 7-figure mark. Many brands get to the 8-figure mark as well. Gary Vee's book, Day Trading Attention, mentions one key acronym that every single clothing brand owner should be paying attention to, and that is called SOC, or SOC, Strategic Organic Content. This is your differentiator for your brand's short-term and long-term success. I want to share with you a brand that does this exceptionally well, and even a few areas that could improve if I was running it myself. What I will tell you is that this brand is very successful, and this brand does really well, and they do well on organic social. There's some things that I would probably change on them. But before we get into that, I just want to say, hey, howdy, and hello. My name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding. We specialize in helping clothing brands scale online, and we've served over 250 clothing brands in the last 12 months alone. I would appreciate a like and subscribe, you guys, so that you do not miss out on any of our latest content. It is all free for you. If you do this in the next 3 seconds, I will share with you the 3 most important things in my life right now. Okay, so let's go over here to their Instagram. I think it's great. It's not in the clothing brand space, but I put them in the same category, right? So shoes, accessories, jewelry, clothing, I kind of put them in the same category. It's very similar type purchasing. One thing you'll see if you've talked to us at any point, or if you've talked to me specifically, or if you've seen any of our content, is that single images, not a fan, right? So 62 likes, they're getting a little bit, 50 likes, 87. I think this is a partnership, so that's why, yeah, so Patch Tack Co. One thing that they're doing well though is collaborations. This I think is another collaboration with another brand as well. So again, they're bringing in the ambassadors, the affiliates, but they're also having some fun too. So they made their feed look cool, but let's see here. I think there's a, let's see a video. I think there was a video that they just did. And you guys gotta remember, the strategic organic content, or the SOC that Gary Vee talks about, is like, use social to have fun, right? You should be doing your jabs in his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, or in this latest book is like, look, add value to people, and then you can absolutely do a call to action here. So let's see here. That's their best sellers. Let me find this video for you guys. Oh, here we go.
I mean, like, luckily I have a purse, and so I feel like things are just in there.
I have purse.
Luckily I have a purse.
Anyway, they're just being strategic here with the content that they're posting. Stories, they're doing more than one a day. You can see they're doing quite a bit. I would suggest 3 to 7. One other thing that I think they're doing really well too is their bio. Use code INSTA for 15% off, boom. And then, you know, if you click here, you can actually go there to shop. They also have an app app. They're also using the lifetime value kind of like optimizer thing here. They're using a tool called Comments Sold. This one has 10,000 views. I think this is the fun video I was talking about. So they did a partnership with Maddie and Tay. Hit it, let's go. I don't know if we can use this music or not. Instant country music. Let's just say it's a sad girl summer. If you're a country girl, you can go check it out. But anyway, it was good, and they got 10,000 views. Awesome. Another thing that they're doing really well here that you guys don't, I think, realize is that they're responding back to comments. I cannot tell you, program members who are in our OSO program that's like built for clothing brands to get to their first $1 million per month, how many people ignore the comments. We've got a guy who just started out and he's, I don't know, he's getting hundreds of thousands of views per month because he's doing some stuff really well, but just people are commenting and he's just like, thumbs up, like it, versus actually responding back. Kind of blows my mind a little bit. But anyway, it is maybe not intuitive. Maybe I'm just in this world a little bit too much, but I'll tell you guys, that is strategic. You don't get to 79,000 followers by just, doing that. I also can tell you that follower count does not matter. Their engagement for the reels, that is what matters, right? I'm looking at views, 10,000 views, 1,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Like the more they get views, the better the content is. Having a follower count does not really matter so much anymore. I think it gets some validity to people because they're like, oh, who is this brand? Are they legitimate or not? Which I understand. This is a great brand. And honestly, like, come over here, guys. Let's just dive into the specific breakdown of the numbers for this brand I was talking about, the brand that hit $109,000 in 1 week, so that you guys can actually see, okay, what happened here. But first, hold up just 1 second. I want to say that if you are a clothing brand owner and want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow profitably online, you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There are limited spots, so go check out the link in the description down below. So I have this actually pulled up for May 20th through the 26th. It's actually 113,000. Sorry guys, I lied. It's not 109. So new customer revenue, $42,000. This is great. Total orders, 931. New customer acquisition cost, $26, which is awesome. This is LTV divided by CPA, so lifetime value divided by the cost to acquire them. So every dollar spent, basically, like our lifetime value is, and I'll pull this up actually, is $145, and then cost to acquire the new customer is $26. So we spent $26 to make $145. Solid. We'll take that all day. So ROAS was a 10, return on ad spend was a 10 for what we made there. New customer ROAS, we spent $1 to make 4 for new customers. Not just existing customers to come back. We also had we spent about $10,000 in ads. You guys are probably wondering, all right, how much did they spend to make that? $10,000, 562, which like I said, there are, they have a decent amount of followers on Instagram. I'll tell you it's significantly less than 100,000 though. And I will also tell you that follower count doesn't matter. Just like I mentioned with this other brand, it does not matter. It matters about how you create good content. Now, what was the offer? The offer was 50% off. So even if we look at all of this, we still did very, very well. We have 80 to 90% margins. I will tell you guys a couple of things. Number one, it is very difficult to grow a brand if you do not have a niche market, which they do, and you do not have high margins. They have great margins. Like I said, 80 to 90% on most things. Another thing to consider is that if you know your numbers, like we do here, you can do one thing and one thing over every single person, which is that it's kind of an unspoken motto here, is that those who can spend the most to acquire the customer will always win. We did not have to spend a bunch at this time, but at this point, we're willing to spend $70, $80, $90 to acquire a customer because we know that our lifetime value of the customer in about 60 days, 90 days is over $200. So let's go look at the LTV here. So last 6 months, our LTV is actually 165. It's actually up quite a bit. I think that's the cool part, is that we know our numbers so well that we can spend to acquire new customers at a loss or a break even because we know that in that period we're going to be profitable. And then you put, I would say, numbers behind it, or depending on how much you actually want to scale, everything else starts to make sense. So you do need to know your AOV, so your average order value. You do need to know the lifetime value of your customer, preferably within 60, 90 days. And then you really, really need to understand what it is, how much traffic do you actually need to your site. And I'll pull up the Shopify stuff here as well, because I don't think it gets into that type of specifics. But let's look here. So Google Ads, we spent $323, not too much, okay? Doing a little bit. TikTok, $363. We're spending about $1,000 on each one of those. I think you should always diversify. Meta's where we spent most of it, $9,800. This should pull in email as well, and it's pull it as well. So Attentive, this is for SMS only. We made about 7,000. Klaviyo, we made 10,000. We got 11,000 people directly from sharing a link. We have some ambassadors who worked on some things here, and then we also did an affiliate. So we had a great offer. Like I said, it was 50% off. It was a very short window of time. It was about 5 days, 6 days that was going on. And then we also teamed up with people, which were all for free. They got a percentage of the deal that they sold, so no upfront cost. And then we leveraged our email and SMS. As you can see here, Google made 15x return. New customer ROAS here. So $27, pretty cool. And if you guys also want more numbers, and you want me to break down anything else, just comment that below. I'm happy to do that for you guys. But those are the main numbers here. And it's the main, I would say, differences as well. Okay, so now that you know exactly how this brand does it, right? It's time to put the framework in place, the e-com accelerator in place so that you can scale. So go make sure that you go watch the video on exactly how to do that right here next. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. And P.S., make sure you subscribe.